Friends, hi, welcome to day 45. I hope you're well. Today's readings, firstly in Exodus, we see, look at verses 1 through to 6 to start with, and we see all the things that God yesterday had been telling Moses to make, for all the people to get together. Today he says that he's giving them the necessary skills to do those things. And yesterday, you remember, we looked at, in the New Testament, the parable of the talents. And it just reminds me from that and from this today, that whatever gifts and talents and skills or whatever else that God has given you, you have them for a reason. And whatever God asks you to do or calls you to do, you can be sure that He will give you, or already has given you, the right skills and the equipping for that. On down to chapter 32, and Moses, we see he's a long time on this mountain with God, and so the people that are waiting for him start to get impatient, and so when they don't see results in their desired time, in the time frame that they've set, that they want to see results from God in, when they don't see that, they start taking things into their own hands. They make new gods. And that just makes me ask, what do we do when we perhaps seek God, we ask God for things, but then we don't see an answer to those prayers in the way or in the time that we would have liked? How do we respond to that? And I just want to encourage us to trust that God is there, that God hears our prayer, that God works His plans and His purposes in His timing, and that God's ways, God's timing are perfect. And so, friends, don't be led astray by other things that start to seem appealing, perhaps, if we're waiting in that gap, waiting to hear from God, or waiting to hear or for other things to happen. Don't be led astray. On into Matthew, and in today's Matthew passage we see some well-known verses, and some verses that you can probably recite from memory if you are part of a church where you take communion. They're well-known verses, and it's coming to Jesus' arrest and crucifixion coming up. But they're well-known verses. I don't want to spend that much time in them, but just flick down to verse 39 very quickly, when Jesus prays that if it's possible, take this cup away from me. He doesn't want to be killed. He doesn't particularly want to be in the situation that he's in. And many of us, when we're in a difficult situation, will easily pray, Lord, stop this happening. Lord, don't let this have to happen. Don't let me, don't make me do this. I don't want to be involved. And yet Jesus then goes on to say, yes, if it's possible, take this cup from me. But if not, he goes on, not my will, but yours. And I just wonder, how easy do we find it to pray that same prayer, regardless of what we want or don't want? At the end of the day, how easy is it to just surrender everything to God and say, you know what, this might be my preference, but at the end of the day, not my will, but yours be done. Friends, let me encourage you today just to be trusting God with anything and with everything. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.